We are live. Welcome to the stream. As usual, since the microphone can be weird sometimes, you let me know if the audio is off. Uh, the game, the test, it's a little loud on my end. Hopefully not too much on yours. But preemptively, am I even? Oh no. We need a noise because it's part of like the experience. But hope it isn't too bad. Uh, so we normally have our typical games. But I think maybe for Fridays doing short type of games, games that can be finished in one stream, might be a good idea. So here we are, the text. I see some clips about it. I actually haven't seen the ending of any of it, so I don't know what the results available for this game. But I know that there is multiple results, and depending on how you answer, you get different ones. This game also seems to be part of a series of games, so potentially I might do those in the future as well. Maybe not soon after this one, because we do have other games lined up. But look forward to that. Also thought that this game was a good idea, just to try to maybe open up for conversation. You know, because this game just exposes you a little bit. Well, myself, not the viewers, unless they want to like, participate along. But I'm not too sure if results will come along with that. But definitely a game to, I guess, see the psychology. Oh, what goes to the chat? How's the audio? I'm gonna assume that the audio works relatively well for now. And again, if there is any issues, do let me know. And I'm gonna go ahead and start. Uh, that's unfortunate, but I was a little worried about that. It would have been interesting to have sassy AI with the this stream, but you know, sometimes it be like that. Now, should I get her voice? No. I'll just say it like normal. Now, in order to begin, this is the most important part of this entire experience. You will be asked a series of questions, and you must answer them honestly. Now, when I say them honestly, I don't mean them how you like to answer them. Answer them with truth, even if that's hard to face. I don't know about ASMR voice. For the person doing the questions? Probably not. There isn't a lot of characters, so it's fine if I read this out loud. Answer the truth, even if it's hard to face. I will see how honest I am with that. We all want to be good people, quotation marks. We rarely want to admit our faults, grievances, and it's a great time to be stuttering. Grievances or mistakes. But you must decide what you truly want. Do you want this to work properly? Do you want the truth about yourself, your destiny in this world? Or would you rather live a lie just to hide from yourself? The process is very simple in theory. Just answer a long series of questions. What's difficult is self analyzing your own psyche to evaluate the truths in your own mind and life so that you can predict your future. You see, as long as you're honest with these questions and answers, you'll be able to see your own future here. This will tell you things you already know, but don't necessarily know that you know. So this test, this game, it's gonna expose me potentially. Mm. As long as the answers you provide to the questions asked are 100% honest and true, this process will simply unlock a part of your mind that you do not have natural access to. This isn't psychic. This isn't a personality test. This is simply nature. This is you. This is your own mind. This is us. Simply nature taking its course. This is a human brain at work unlocking the hidden truths within itself. While attempting to answer many of these questions, you'll often wonder things like, well, this answer depends on the circumstances. Create your own circumstances in your mind and answer the question with a simple yes or no as you see fit. You may not understand or realize it, but your mind will develop the situation required to answer your question the way it needs to be answered. Ah, that makes sense. If it depends on circumstances, what circumstances do you imagine? And depending on the circumstances you imagine, that also says something about yourself. I invite you to grab a drink of water, sit back, relax, and enjoy the experience. We're about to begin with a series of questions, and provided that you're a willing participant, we will be unlocking some substantial information today. Here we go. Do you believe that everyone should always be treated fairly? Right off the bat, I'm actually inclined to say no. They should be treated according how they treat others. Do you believe that everyone should always be treated equally? No, again, because depending on how they treat others, that's what they'll be reciprocated with. No, because equality does not mean equity. Those two are completely different, right? So let's imagine a baseball game, right? And there's a fence, and you have three children, right? The tall child, you provide crates with for all the children, right? The tall child can see the game even without the crate. They don't need it. Middle child, the crate does help them, and the small child, even provided with the crate, they still can't see the game. So equality does not always work because not everyone's circumstances are equal. Have you ever invented anything? I'll say yes. Children are a little special something. Children are. Here's the thing about children. I think as a society, we have a very warped perception about children because we usually see them as an extension of like their families or their parents, right? The children are also their own individuals. So as long as you teach them and you talk to them, they will learn. Or like, and they usually appreciate people that like actually try to have a conversation with them rather than dismiss them or just give them like orders. Because as they grow up, like, yeah, they'll become their individual. If you consistently treated the child as where you like entirely dismiss them, right? And then they grow up and they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk to you. You built that. You did that because you never considered them as an individual. However, invented anything, we'll say yes. Do you believe that you're worthy of someone's time investment? Jeez, I do hope so. I'm gonna go with yes. Will you consider yourself to be open-minded? What is open-minded? What defines open-minded? Open to options? Here's the thing. Normally, we think of open-minded as like, oh, maybe modern or like accepting of all types of things, right? Normally, however people live, I don't mind it. I don't care too much, right? Even if it's weird. That's the thing. I feel like I hesitate to sometimes learn certain things, right? But like, I'm the type of person with the logic that like, if it's if it's what gives you purpose and it's not hurting anyone, props to you. Like you do it for yourself. We'll go with a yes. Or no. Will you say that you sometimes have trust issues? Yes. Will you be alright with living alone forever? Oh, this is one of those that like it depends. Because alone forever can be defined as like maybe not even animals, right? But we'll go with no, right? Well, I do feel like I can live without having company for a good while. Uh, I am at the end of the day a human too, and see, but that's why it's that's what I said, right? Even if it's circumstantial, no, even if it's circumstantial, it depends on what's the idea that your brain came up with, right? So the circumstance that my brain created was that, oh, alone forever includes like no other living things, just you, not even animals, right? And if that were to be the case, probably no. And even if no humans, right? I still say that it's a no. But we're not talking about the law. Um, but yeah, I would say it's still a no for living alone forever. Eventually, uh, the years of loneliness, right? You catch up. You forget how to talk. You forget how to socialize or stuff like that. You're just not the same person anymore. Your brain naturally changes when you're going to isolation. So we'll go with no. Do you always give someone the benefit of the doubt? I'm gonna say for this one, yes. I default to giving people the benefit of the doubt to begin with. Because if I start being suspicious of people right away, there is no work to be done. Sometimes you have to suspend belief in order to be able to make progress. Do you just like the sound of your own voice? Do I dislike the sound of my own voice? Okay, here's the thing. I have the accent. Sometimes I do get annoyed by the fact that I feel like sometimes my accent doesn't help with maybe trying to say things, right? But ignoring the accent, do I hate my voice? I would say no, I don't. Do you like the color blue more than the color black? No. Uh, black is a technically black isn't a color. It's a tone, but like the darker the color, the better. If you found money on the street and knew who it belonged to, will you give it back to them? Yes, I actually had a experiences like this before, where I have found money, and if I notice who dropped it, I go out of my way to like return the money. It's British, but I go out of my way to return the money because if uh if it were to happen to me, I would hope that someone does the same. I mean, language at the end of the day is just symbols, and symbols they change meaning over time. As long as the meaning of the symbol is conveyed, it can technically count as a language, whether it be color or color. But yeah, if so I return the money because I just you seem to have a certain what's it called interesting opinions about like several European places. Are you sure you want the answer that you seek? Am I sure if I want the answer that I seek? See, I'm gonna say no for this one. I don't even know what answers I'm seeking. So, how can I be sure if I want them? But I don't know. You know, if I get in trouble for returning money to the person that I saw it, like they dropped it, right? Or here's another circumstance, right? So if I see that they were the ones that dropped the money, right? I go and return it to them. Because if they were to happen to me, where I dropped money, right, and someone saw, I will hope that they will return it. But I also had circumstances where I just found random money, right? And like it'll be like maybe a sizable quantity, right? And this was at school. So I just so one of the teachers, right? And then the teachers, they were the ones that carried the investigation out to figure out who it belonged to. And they actually did return it to like the person that it belonged to. She was very worried about the fact that she had dropped like that sizable quantity of money. So you know, maybe in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, right? But for that person, that could have been a terrible day if I had decided not to return the money. So just like small considerations like that. I can't necessarily make others be nicer people, but I know that I can do nice things for other people. So I do what I can. Am I afraid of spiders? I'm not. I love spiders. If you knew you were a merchant skate, would you jump into molten? Yes. And don't ask why. I would. If I knew I were a merchant skate, would I jump into molten lava? Absolutely. You just don't get many opportunities. Would you consider yourself to be fat? No, I actually lost a considerable amount of weight, and and for me it's actually kind of hard to gain weight in general. So even if I wanted to accumulate weight, it's difficult sometimes. Would you say that you have lots of charisma? Uh oh, this question. This question is it's a difficult one. I would hope that I do, right? But honestly, it depends on the group of people, right? But I'm leaning towards yes. Step is always a charisma. Okay, I'm leaning towards yes because whenever groups of people need to be gathered, we're like, oh, let's divide tasks, or you know, like, or even talking to like older adults, right? I usually am able to make good impressions on the majority of people, or like when it comes to getting things done, get people to listen. So in order to be able to do that, to a certain point, you have to have a certain amount of charisma. So, but the question says lots of charisma. See that's the I can get people to listen. Yeah, and even sometimes when I'm wrong, people are still willing to listen to me more over than the other person. You know, the peer pressure. It's always nice to play with friends, right? Uh, so jokingly, it's called peer pressure, but honestly, I didn't want to play with friends, and that is something that I want to do more on stream, like be able to play with my friends. Um, but here's the thing: I'm more lenient with my friends, for sure. Uh, so I'm more willing to like concede or like try to follow along to like what my friends want. Uh, but if people uh aren't necessarily like in my radar, to put it one way, I'm less inclined to like agree to anything, and that's how you stay out of trouble sometimes. You just kind of mind your own business. But sometimes, even if you want to mind your own business, there'll be interrupters. Have you ever wished you could be temporarily frozen? Temporarily frozen. This could be interpreted several ways, but the immediate thing that I thought of was like, I can't remember what it's called. Like, I thought of ice frozen immediately. Would I want to be ice frozen? I mean, that's a very long nap. That's a very long nap, but a long ass nap. That sounds kind of nice though. It's a so it it kind of depends on how long the time goes on, but yeah, it really kind of does depend on how long the time goes on. Because okay, if you have seen Cowboy Bebop, you have, for example, Faye Valentine. She froze herself, woke up in the future, and now she feels a disassociation or disconnection because everything she knew. No, probably not. I don't think if you're frozen that you will be conscious about it. I think you will actually fall like in a coma-like state, or that's what I say. A long ass nap. 5 months is bad. Would I ever wish to be temporarily frozen? You wouldn't take the risk, but I think I would. Is this the plot for Doctor Stone? The petrification? Well, how I interpret it, I'm assuming unconscious, right? Because even in Doctor Stone, they eventually lost consciousness as time went on. So some of the other characters like decided to maintain the consciousness, but a lot of the people that were petrified, they just kind of like snoozed. This is all very interesting. Did you realize that the last letter of the previous five questions were put together spelled the name Satan? No, I didn't realize. Does that make you uncomfortable? Not at all. Are you good at finding hidden puzzles or clues? Hmm. Health. You know, there is a little bit of everything. And actually, has anybody read Delicious Dungeon? I think that the problem that they pose in that book, in that series, is it kind of fits in general. So in Delicious Dungeon, you have several different races, right? And one of the conflicts that arise is in between decision making, between nations, for example, where elves who are long lived will sometimes put their noses in the business of other nations, and the excuse is because they live longer, they know more, or they know better, right? And the other races, to the elves, they're kind of like children. But the other races feel offended because, in their own rights, they are adults. Just because they don't get to live as long as the elves doesn't mean that they're not capable of making their own decisions, or, you know, having a word. So, when it comes to, for example, Satan or other entities like that, we tend to think of them in what we know, right? And at the very least, how they see us, right? They say to think of us and what they know as well. So sometimes they'll think that we're kind of stupid, but that is because their time period, their time frame is much bigger than ours. We both can be technically right, because it is the truth of each one. But does that mean that like the truths are the best situation? Not necessarily. Am I good at finding hidden puzzles or clues? Ah, I do enjoy puzzles, clues. I think I will have to be actively looking for them. But am I gonna be actively looking for them in this test? No. So I wanna say what do I wanna say? Just because I enjoy it does not necessarily mean that I'm good at it. With a puzzle. Okay. Good at finding hidden puzzles or clues. Hmm. Just because I enjoy it doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at it. We'll put no for now. Because, I feel like someone that is good at finding hidden puzzles or clues, they're actively looking for it, you know? But if, no. Okay. This is a story. One time, when I was in high school, I was in my English class. And, somebody random had just, walked in. They did something, and then walked out, right? I didn't care at all, right? I just, like, minded my own business. And then the teacher, she was asking questions of like, oh, that was weird. Like, do you guys, what do you guys remember about that? And then some people would be like, oh, he was wearing like a red hoodie. He had like white sneakers. Like, he was this height or yada yada, right? And then the teacher said, oh, I'm so glad that you guys are paying attention. And that, like, in case of a situation, something like that, uh, you will be able to, like, testify as witness, right? So, we were being tested. I'm not gonna deny it. I completely failed that test. Uh, so yeah, I just put it on that. Are you not wondering what other hidden messages are placed within these questions? Yes. Have you been entirely honest with your answers thus far? Yes. Are you afraid of the consequences for answering questions dishonestly? Uh, we'll say yes. Because, the consequences of not getting the actual accurate response. Were you aware that there could be potential consequences for answering dishonestly? Yeah. Are you wondering how these questions began to take a strange turn? No. Do you consider yourself captivated? Sure. Very interesting. But you consider yourself to be brave. But I consider myself to be brave. Uh, only when I have to be. But, you know, here's the thing. I tend to... If I can avoid a situation, I will, right? Because why confront a situation directly when you can just bypass it, right? Sometimes you don't need to go and get mixed in. But there has been situations where I've had to be the representing person, right? And even if I myself I'm scared, but like, or even if I don't want to, right? I go and do it because if I'm the best fit person to do the job, then it makes sense that I go do it. Uh, so if I get a choice, do I just like walk away? Yes, I will walk away. But if someone has to step up, I'll do it as well. So, you know, and as far as I know, being brave, the definition is that despite being scared or despite negative feelings that you have about a situation, you still go and do it, or you still go and confront it. I consider myself brave. You know, usually when people think of bravery means like running headfirst into like danger all the time. It's no, bravery is like even if you're scared as well, you still go and confront the situation despite being afraid, right? You know, without getting into like maybe too much personal details about like certain circumstances that I come across too. I definitely have had to do way too many situations like that. So we'll say yes. Do you view yourself as someone with above average intelligence? Have you been I did. Have you been looking for hidden messages in these questions? I have not. Are you wondering which hidden messages you may have missed? Yes. Have you begun to wonder how long this test will take or how many questions exist in the session? Yeah, a little bit actually. I know this can take a bit. Would you consider yourself to be a patient person? Would I? Hmm. You know, I'm I am still gonna answer yes. I wanna say I used to consider myself being a patient person. But you know, even patience has a limit, right? And and maybe currently I'm more like not explosive. No, that's not the word. But less amicable to certain people because they run out of my patience, right? But my default, yes, it's to be patient. Because again, just if a circumstance were to happen like that, I will also want people to be patient with me. The most humans I know you. Yes. Do you prefer animals to people? Yeah, I do. Although, yeah, I do prefer animals to people. Although, to a certain point, I also keep my distance. You'd be surprised that there's people that will answer the other way. Uh, it's just, it's a moral question, to be honest. It really is a moral question. Because if you were to ask someone, right, which life has a higher value, right? Like, animal, an animal life, or a person life, right? And and maybe someone will tell you, well, like the animal life is more valuable. But then when you put out the question, like, why? Why is it more valuable? A lot of people stutter to like give you an answer. And honestly, it's just at the end of the day, value is subjective. And more than it says something about the animal or the person, it says something about yourself, about what type of decision that you would take in that instance, right? Because technically, if you actually had the resources, right, you could help the two of them, both, right? But it's morality. It's subjective. Do I prefer animals to people? Yes. Do you believe in magic? Jeez. If I'm a mage, I hope I do believe in magic. Do you believe in God or does this is some form of higher power? Yes, I see things. Do you fear death? I think instinctually, yes, because it's an unknown. Uh, no, no, no. It's just, do tarot cards count as magic? Technically. Technically they do. Because in essence, what you're doing with the tarot cards is that you're trying to invoke why you're trying to invoke something for answers, right? How I like to see it, when you use the tarot cards, you're actually invoking or using the guides of the person, because each individual has their own spiritual guides, right? Some people like to call them guardian angels or like guardian animals, right? Let's just go with spiritual guides, right? And since they're your personal guides, of course they will know more information about you than some of the other entities, or if you just call someone randomly. So when it comes to tarot cards, usually I think of asking the questions to the guide of the person. Do, do I fear this? Instinctually, yes. Am I put off by the idea of dying? It's just it's just a part of everything. But we'll go with yes. Instinctually, yes. Are you attracted to someone who you're not currently in a relationship with? Oh boy. Oh boy. Um, this is actually a hard one to answer. Scandalous. Yes, it is. Hmm. It's just it's kind of hard to define what that other person is. But Enola Gay, you know what? There is someone I know, but I don't know them either. But I talked to them a couple times. But it's hard to know exactly what how to define the something, right? The best I can be said at the moment, an ally, or like, yeah, an ally. But we'll answer that way. Yes, even though the situation's weird. Are you alone? Technically, no. There's chats. There's next door, the neighbors, the families in the house, and even if quote unquote alone in my room, right? I don't think I'm alone in my room. So, no. If I told you with almost certainty that there's something watching you, would you believe me? Yeah, I think I've seen it walk around a couple times. Have you wondered who I am? Actually, no. Have you had shivers at any point during this session? Uh, yeah, actually, no. Do you feel like you're being watched? Yes. I mean, stream. But apart from that, if we're talking about like potentially my room, yeah. Have you considered quitting the session early? Oh no, I'm definitely seeing this through the end. Do you drink? I'm being called out. No, I don't drink water every day. Sometimes I forget to drink water. Um, yeah. Why drink water when there's magic, right? Yeah, I eat once a day. Yeah, at least once. Do you realize that there's a high probability that you miss a plethora of hidden messages thus far? Oh, probably. Are you wondering what they are? Of course. Would it bother you to never know without finding them yourself? No. If I didn't see them or if I didn't find them, then that's it. Is your favorite number 7? I actually don't think I have a favorite number. Okay, before okay, we all joke around. It's 4, right? Uh, because of like League of Legends because of Jen, right? But actually, before League of Legends, right? The numbers that I tended to favor were between 7, 8, 3, and 13. So, uh, I'm not sure if like 7 being my favorite number, but it's definitely one of the numbers that I favored. It's because I kept getting 13. A lot of times. 13 was the number that kept appearing. But 7 also. And 3 as well. I don't know favorite number, but life is short, but it's the longest thing we'll ever do. Do you agree? No. It's the longest thing we'll ever do. No. I don't I don't think that's the case. Oranges cannot be compared to apples. Do you agree? Oranges cannot compare. I disagree. Even though one's acid, the other's sweet, they're both technically fruits. Oranges cannot be compared. Venus is sometimes referred to as a morning star. Do you know that? Uh, yes, but not. I don't know too well about it. Everyone deserves a second chance. Do you agree? Everyone deserves a second chance. Do I agree? Uh, okay. So here's the thing. The first thing that came to my mind is no. Not everybody deserves a second chance. We like to think that everybody gets to have a second chance, but no, right? Sometimes some things you already had your plenty of second chances per se, but you just kept on messing them up, or it really is kind of circumstantial. But no, not everyone does. You could do anything you put your mind to. Do you agree? Yeah, actually, yeah. If you want to do it, or if there's a will, there's a way. Even if there's so many struggles on the way. Obedience is more important than freedom. Do you agree? No. Because dictatorships. That's for example the first thing that came to mind. You have very obedient people, but does that mean that it brings happiness or like it's fulfilling? No. You need to have a combination of both. Underwater adventures sound like a fun time. Yes, they do. Did you realize that the first letters of the previous 8 questions spell the knots? Spell the phrase "I love you." No, I didn't realize. Do you wish to be loved? Unfortunately, yes. Have you ever felt hated? Um, I've been disliked before. I felt animosity, right? But to say hated, I'm not too sure. Yes, hate is very strong. Hate is I would think that's the type of emotion where you wish something like terrible happens to the person. Yeah, like like you wish something terrible happens to the person, or like you actively try to like be awful to the person. But have I ever felt hated? I felt misunderstood, disliked, but hated? Hated. I wanna say no, but like maybe there was someone that hated me. Potentially yes, but was I aware of it, or like have I ever felt it? No. Do you have any addictions? I want to default to no, right? But like no, I don't have addiction because then normally we think like oh drugs or alcohol or stuff like that, right? But you know. maybe sleeping too much or like being on my phone. That's technically an addiction. Do you just like the color pink? Yeah, pink's not one of the colors that I like. Does the color gray seem depressing? Uh, I like gray. Does the color gray seem depressing? I think by default, yes. But I do like gray. Do you enjoy loud music? Depends on the music genre. Hmm. See, blasting my ears with music. That's one thing, right? But like, let's say walking into a public space where the music is too damn loud, right? It's not enjoyable. It's one thing to blast it into your ears. It's another thing where like it just like makes your skeleton vibrate. Yeah, not fun. Look bad. So we'll go ahead. Do you like to dance? I don't. Would you consider yourself normal? No. Uh, Objectively, right? You know, you're kind of right, right? But objectively, right? Human experience, it's so diverse that the fact that everyone's abnormal is to a certain point normal, right? But we'll go with no. Do you love your parents? Hmm. Some of those questions. But I guess if it wasn't obvious by my reaction, right, that I didn't immediately click on yes, right? Uh, Not applicable option. Oh yeah, where is it? I think here's the thing. By default, as a kid, you love your parents because you depend on them, you rely on them, right? Uh, for you to like love them and care for them, right? It's kind of like ingrained in you, right? Like that's the default setting. But can that eventually fall off? Yeah, it can. Um, would if certain things happen, would I be sad or like would it hurt? Of course, but it would still hurt because they were or they are like present in a lot of my life, right? But that's just default settings. If given the opportunity, would I just break connection? Yeah. So, have you ever been lied to? I have. Do you get angry often? I actually don't. And, because again, I try to give some consideration and have patience, right? Because, anger, or like as an immediate reaction, it's not very helpful. Do you hold grudges? I do. Have you ever forgiven someone? Have I ever forgiven someone? Um, I had to think about it. Because I had to imply I've been wronged, and maybe there was an apology, or I decided to like forgive the person. Have I ever forgiven someone? I have actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have. Have you ever done something that you knew you shouldn't have done, but still did it anyway? Yes. Uh, okay, here's the thing that I had to think if I had ever forgiven someone, right? Um, I had to think about the times that I've been wronged, right? And I think it's just there never was like a reconciliation about that, right? So if there is a, oh my gosh, the neighbors, they're having a karaoke night. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but if there isn't a talk about it after the incident, right? Then there isn't much opportunity for forgiveness, right? But I might also be getting two things confused, right? It's different to forget someone and then to forget about an incident. And because I don't forget the incident, right? I think it's harder for me to like forgive it, right? Unless a person actually tries to reach out and like talk about it. So, oh well, like why did this have to happen like this, right? And oh well, my hands were tied or something like that, right? So it's that attempt at communication that shows to a certain point that the person did think about you, but like they have some remorse. But if there's never any contact reach afterwards, then it's kind of just hard to like forget the person if you can't understand why that happened. Have you ever lied? I have. Have you ever cheated on a test? No. No. I hated it. I, a test. It became like a pride thing, to be honest. I don't like cheating on tests. Because it's supposed to like test your skill, it's supposed to like help. No, I actually never cheated on a test. It, it became like a pet peeve of mine that like cheating on tests. No, I've been offered if I wanted to cheat on a test, right? I always rejected. Well, that's reassuring. Do you think flowers are more beautiful than trees? By default, yes, because they have more colors, but trees are beautiful. Have you ever wanted to be an animal instead of a person? I feel like this is gonna play against me, regardless. But yeah, I thought about it. Like being a bird and being able to fly in the sky. Do you believe you have psychic powers? Wishing to fly. The psychic powers. I mean, as a mage, I would hope so. Have you ever seen a ghost? Wow. This question is a little difficult. I talked to a ghost, right? Did I see them per se? And not like how you typically see on like YouTube videos or something like that, right? Uh, you know, I seen I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them bodied per se, like like full on human, but just in general, yeah. Do you dream of it? I do. Do you have nightmares of? Well, no. Oh, my God. Oh, I think that was something else. The cup, if it had water underneath, it just slides. Do you have nightmares of? This, I, I used to have nightmares pretty often. Would I consider the current dreams nightmares? Uh, Not necessarily. But then I think I've become desensitized to some of the things. Because nightmares implies that they're like bad dreams, right? That like, oh, you got scared or you have a negative emotion from the dream, right? But if I became desensitized to it, does it still count as a nightmare? For the sake of, I'll say yes. Google the definition of what a nightmare is. I think there are talking about dreams in actual nightmares, but I suffer from anxiety attacks. Um, they're not. When I say that, they're like, oh, intense anxiety attacks, right? But do I like being in crowds? I don't. I absolutely don't. And it does make me feel anxious when being in a crowd. Um, so I do tend to avoid crowds. Do you suffer from depression? Some of these questions are kind of personal. Do I exercise often and stay active? No, it's too hot for that. And in general, I always say that like, oh, I'm gonna like try to like be a little more fit, right? And I just never get to it. I just don't have the motivation for it. I don't have the drive. Like, you know, art sitting for hours, streaming. I can do it. I'm willing to do it. But for exercise, unless it's like a game, like I don't know, playing basketball or something like that. I hate doing exercise. If it's just like, oh, you gotta lift weights and then run or something like that, I don't like it. I don't like it. Is there a particular type of food that you despise? Yeah, liver. I hate liver so much. Uh, I can't. I can't eat it. I just can't. I literally can't. Oh, yeah, liver. I just can't. There's been times where like my family has tried to feed me liver before, and I gag every single time. I can't. Even if I was like trying to force myself, I can't. Like all kinds of liver. I don't know why. I just like, oh, I can't. But you consider yourself emotionally wounded? Yes. Yes. Have you ever felt betrayed? I have. Do you ever feel lost in life? Maybe human. Is that supposed to be an idea? Nah, but even if it was human endeavor, no. Besides, human? Human consumption? Ew. You don't know where that human has been? What type of diet it has? If it's been living on, what's it called? Mountain Dew and hot Cheetos? You think a liver like that is gonna taste good? Do I ever feel lost in life? I do. You consider yourself a natural leader? Uh, no. I'm not the natural leader, right? It's I'm the emergency leader. Usually when things go wrong, uh, then is it like that I had to take charge, right? But natural leader, no. I get kind of bullied. I get bullied around a bit. If you could push a button and destroy the world, would you press it? This definitely has nothing to say about my character. Do you sometimes dream of being a hero? I will say yes. I think, again, as a default, the answer was yes. I would press a button if it would destroy the world. You know, if I wasn't gonna press a button, eventually someone else was gonna do it. Looking at some of the political leaders. uh, okay. Here's the thing. I think as a default, everybody wants to be a hero, right? And it does say sometimes dream of being a hero. So like, do I wish to be someone that like does good or helps others? Sometimes, right? But we'll put it similar to My Hero Academia, Shigaraki. Before he became a villain, you wanted to be a hero. Have you ever? Yes. I did say this for the leader one. Have you ever been bullied? Yes, I have. Have you ever bullied someone else? I have as well. You know, sometimes in wanting to fit in, right? You just do to others the things that you wish wouldn't be done on you. And you know, it isn't until it's done that you realize what you have done. Will you consider yourself to be a dreamer? A dream? If you're talking about like daydreaming, sure. Um, aspirations. I had those. Do I sometimes wish that they would just maybe go away? No, I still. Okay, listen. I still have them, right? Because if I didn't, right, for example, I wouldn't be streaming. And so, simply the fact that I'm streaming, it is in the hope or in the dream of being able to build something, right? And just because the amount of them has been reduced does not mean that some of them don't exist. Do you sometimes hurt people's feelings unintentionally? Yes, I think that's unavoidable. Because you can mean things one way. Yeah, you can mean things one way, but like sometimes the interpretation can be taken in another way, right? And it's unavoidable to hurt other people unintentionally. Do you find space fascinating? Yes. Yes. But you consider yourself to be an artist? Yes. But you consider yourself to be a good friend? Hmm. My friends are very kind people. Hmm. And I would like to be able to reciprocate some of the benevolent actions that they have done for me. But you know, they feel guilt to certain things, right? So I could be a better friend. But you consider yourself to be flawed? Of course. Have you ever fantasized about being a supervillain or performing a heinous, egregious crime? So, maybe, maybe, maybe we don't see the answer to this. I think that's also unavoidable. Uh, I forgot what it's called, but it's in essence called the shadow self, where you fantasize about doing wrongdoings, right? And actually, that's not bad. If you let yourself think about it, that's actually kind of good. Because the more that you try to repress it, the more that you try to deny it, you're actually building up that feeling more. You do need to give feelings like that space. Because it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, you're an evil person or you're like bad, right? No. For example, maybe you've been wronged and then you fantasize about committing like assault, for example, right? Assault is bad, but the fact that like you think about it because you feel wrong and you wish to be like you wish for justice to be done, right? That's the type of analysis that you do, but when you interact with the shadow self. But the more that you repress it, saying like, "Oh no, assault is bad. Like I shouldn't be thinking about this," right? The more you actually deny what why you even felt that way to begin with. Do you believe in perfection? No. Have you ever stolen from someone? I have. Will you ever kill someone under any circumstance? Um, Yeah, it just at the very least, when it comes to knowledge, I definitely take pride in that. And to cheat on a test is to like wrong myself, because then I'm denying the fact that I know, or I'm denying that I'm capable of knowing, right? So to cheat would be to hurt myself, right? But and for this question, would I ever kill someone under any circumstances? Sometimes, yeah, actually. Because to begin with, right? If you start to wrongdo yourself, if you begin to wrongdo yourself, then it's easier for you to wrongdo other people, right? Uh, because usually that's when those moments of weakness happens. Because you betrayed yourself at some point, right? So it's easier for you to betray others. But the less you betray yourself, the less you're likely to do it to others as well. Would I ever kill someone under any circumstance? There is let's say a situation where I need to, let's say maybe like, oh, it's a fight between me and the other guy, right? And the fight's not going great. Like it's life or death, right? I am picking my life over the other guys. Oh, so I used to work for an open swami, right? I guess if we really had to talk about the stealing part, right? I used to work for an open swami, and part of my job was like getting rid of trash from the tables, right? Uh, spacing out the inventory, just like putting watch or stuff like that, right? And in that swami, right? There were just like little tiny squishies, right? And they usually came in a packet. It was like a packet for like ADHD, or for like as a distraction packet, right? But people are like so messy, or like so disrespectful, and those packets will end up in essence torn apart, right? And so the items will be scattered. And sometimes when if items don't have bags, or if they get scattered like that, they don't sell anymore. They just get tossed out. And I really love the squishies. So whenever I would find a squishy that was in essence from a rip packet, I would take it. Employers, employers are very interesting. If you had one day to live, would you tell anyone? It depends on how pissed off I am, but yes, I will actually eventually tell someone. Have you ever told your darkest secrets to someone? Uh, have I told secrets to people? I have. Darkest secrets? Probably not. No. Do you trust me even though you know nothing about me? Sure. It's the suspense of disbelief. Do you know who I am? No. Well, I know who you are. Interesting. If I appear behind you right now, will you scream? No, because you just gave me a warning. If I tell you that I've been behind you this entire time, will that scare you? No. Of course not. That would be silly now, wouldn't it? Will you consider yourself to be empathetic? I'm not too sure how to check that, right? But, if you're saying, like, oh no, it's gonna expose my name, right? You're right, I should check. We're good. We're good on that end. I consider myself to be empathetic. If I want to get things done, yes, to a certain point, I do have to do it, right? Do I willingly go out of my way to sometimes? Yeah, actually, I do. Because, for example, if you want to be happy, part of being happy is also like making sure that the people around you are happy, right? And if they need like someone to talk to, or like just like express their emotions, then you do the action to them. So, because it's kind of like a community in essence, right? It's a help each other out type of situation. um, Although I'll be honest, to certain points, uh, in my life, I have reached a certain emotional capacity, right? And if for example, a person's not from my mm, what would be a good word? If a person's not necessarily like someone that I know, would I reach out to them? Probably not. But do I still feel bad for them? I do. I don't like to see people being sad. Uh, because okay, different circumstances for different people, right? But like, in all honesty, I do wish for people to be able to exist in relative peace. Would you consider yourself to be romantic? No. No. What would be romantic? I kind of see romantic as kind of like seeing the world in rose-colored glasses. Like, oh, it's a beautiful day outside. The birds are singing. The flowers are blooming. Am I romantic like that? No, I'm not. Have you ever been in a physical fight? I haven't actually. I've been in struggles, but like it hasn't turned into a fight. It was just like no, 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 absolutely not. Struggle counts? Uh then that just shows you like some of my perspective is distorted for some of these things. The struggle, it was just kind of like think of like wrestling. Think of it like wrestling, you know, maybe like, but like it didn't escalate to like full on punches or stuff like that. So in my head, I didn't count it as a fight, so it's not a fight. Are you prone to headaches or migraines? Uh, this one's kind of like weird to answer. I wanna say, no. I'm not actually prone to headaches or migraines, right? But since my schedule has been a little interesting, right? Or like certain events have been very interesting, right? I've been more sensitive to like light, which could be considered like a symptom of a migraine, but does it like highly bother me or stuff like that? No, so we'll say no. Do you look at the ground when you walk? Uh, it depends. Depends. So, if you guys didn't know, there is something called the murder walk. And the murder walk is in essence you look straight ahead, right, towards the path that you're going, and people they'll maneuver around you to like let you walk because they can see where you're going, and yeah, they'll just step out of the way. So when you need to get to places, sure, okay. Well, anyways, when you need to get to places, you can do that type of walk. Uh, and so I do a mix of the both. Uh, uh, for American Cycle. Also heard the Winter Soldier type of walk. Like you're the Winter Soldier that has been sent out to go kill Captain America. But I'll do a mix of both of the types of walks. So we'll say yes, because I do look at the ground when I walk, but it's not all the time. Are you attracted to the opposite sex? Wait a minute. This question's a trap. Oh boy. You know what? You know what? This question. It's a trap. Wait, I need to get a little higher. There we go. Wait, no, I wouldn't shave my head. Are you attracted to muscular bodies? Um, I'm not too sure how to answer this one. Muscles are nice, but well, you know, Cassie, that's fine. Muscular bodies. You know, muscles are nice, but there can also be a point where it's too much, right? But we'll say yes. Do you ever dance when no one's looking? Uh, I don't like dancing in public, but do I dance to myself sometimes? Yes. Do you trust your best friend entirely? That implies that I have a best friend. To a certain point, I think of all my friends equally. I hate dancing. I hate dancing in public. I hate dancing when there's people watching, right? But do I dance to myself? Or like, for example, do I dance with the pets, right? You know, have you seen those videos on TikTok that it's just like the wiggling the cat or something like that? Yes, I'll do that, right? Uh, n- sort of. Okay, so again, at the beginning of this test, it did say that to answer the questions, answer them based on how you think about it, or like how you see it in your mind, right? So, do I dance when I'm alone? Yes, I dance to myself. Do I dance when I'm in public? No. So that's why those two questions are different. Do I trust my best friend entirely? See, here's the thing. It implies that I have a best friend, but I think of my friends equally. So would I can either take it as like inner the best into just to trust my friends entirely, or because there is no best friend, there is in essence no no one to trust, right? Hmm. You know, I wanna say that okay, and there's also the word entirely, right? Honestly, in general, I do trust my friends, right? But not with everything. Not entirely. Yeah. So not entirely, right? Because yes, you could trust your friends, right? But I think there's some things that you just kinda like keep to yourself. Do you remember your childhood extremely well? I do not. I don't. Will you rob a bank if you could get away with it? So if it wasn't obvious by my hair color, the morally great Amato, if I could get away with it. Ah, okay. So money, free money would be nice, but putting in the work to do that, I'm not blaming the snake. I'm not blaming the morally great. My hair is great. Uh, okay. So money is nice. Free money is nice at any point, right? But but would I willingly carry out the laborious task of robbing a bank? I'm assuming it's laborious, right? I mean, I could get away with it, right? But would it be all the worth all the trouble? I don't think so, to be honest. So I think like even if I could get away with it, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, like, even if I could get away with it, I wouldn't do it. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like, stream slightly die. Um, in which ways the stream slightly died? Well, maybe the test doesn't want the answers to be revealed, but we'll go in now. Do you ever dream about running from a killer? Um, yeah, I had dreams like that before. Do you ever dream about falling off a cliff? Okay, listen, listen, listen. In essence, I have tested everything in dreams. Yeah, it's been done. Yeah, it's been done. Yes, I do. I should be reading some of those questions so Cornelia to us. Call of the Void. Okay. Do you enjoy comedic television shows or movies? Comedic television shows. The first thing that I thought of was Friends, and no, I don't enjoy. I kind of don't enjoy it. It doesn't call my attention. But then, from shows that I actually watch, do I like the comedy section? Yeah, I'll watch it. Uh, might not be the immediate one that I jump into, but yeah, I'll say I do enjoy them. Do you like being the center of attention? Um, Ghost stories. Oh yeah, you're right about that. Do I like being the center of attention? Think it has to be, you know, if in person, right? I don't, right? But okay, I did. I think I did mention some of the earlier streams that part of the reason why I'm also streaming, right, is to become more comfortable with interacting with people. I could do it. Uh, it just kind of feels like a bit of an out of body experience. You know, I'll talk to a person, hold a conversation, but it feels um acted out or like yeah, I'm not too sure how to explain it, but like as if it wasn't myself. Uh, so do I like being the center of attention? I think in general it's a no, right? But for stream purposes, I mean, it's kind of unavoidable, no? Do you feel like something is always watching you? I mean, we did talk about ghosts and some of entities. So, I'll maybe not always, but yeah, it's there. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to go to space? Yes. Have you ever had an out of body experience? Um, it's hard to know. It's actually hard to know. Um, but for something like an out of body experience, you have to be semi conscious. So, not fully asleep, but not fully awake either. Uh, it's kind of like think about it like third person camera or like a camera that you can like move or so it's something like that. It wasn't for long though. Have you ever punched a nut? Hey yo, no, I don't think I even run into one. Why would I punch a nun? Do you like dogs better than cats? I don't. I had too many bad experiences with dogs. Do you prefer to read more than you prefer to watch movies? Yes, I do. Prefer to read more. Are you still wondering why I asked you if you were ever punching out? Yeah. Do you get starstruck easily? I don't. I actually don't. Do you hate going to big parties and social gatherings? Yeah, I don't. I'm not a big fan of crowds. It puts me in a kind of in a foul mood, right? Which maybe shouldn't be the case, but like, it's just like it's too crowded. It's too many people. Is your favorite part of your birthday receiving presents? Mm, I don't. I don't even know if there's a favorite part to my birthday. But you know, receiving presents is always nice. Seriously though, have you ever punched a nun? Like, really? Just bam, right in the face. Nun punch. No, I haven't. Did you laugh? Yes. Did you say what the fuck in your head or even aloud? Yes. Are you now eager to somehow get the opportunity to punch a nun? uh, listen, look, you were you were a little too insistent about it, right? There has to be something to it. Like, this can't be just for nothing, right? Is there a hell do you think you're going to? Oh, of course. Do you enjoy fantasy fetching games? Yeah, I do. Do you masturbate frequently? What is this question? I think for stream purposes, I had to like, you know, just like. Now that question, whenever it be known. Are you wondering what constitutes frequently? No. Are you more than slightly uncomfortable right now? I can't control that question, but I think for stream purposes, that question remains anonymous. Are you more than slightly uncomfortable? I am uncomfortable. I would say it's still slightly uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it's completely. Is your mouth dry? Actually, no. Does profanity make you uncomfortable? No. Do you believe in legendary beasts such as the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot? Uh, I'm not too sure about Bigfoot, but like some of the other ones? Potentially, yeah. We can count. I mean, sure, I guess. Pop off. But yeah. Are you poor with money management? I am actually not. I am actually not. I'm actually pretty good with money management. It's just I happen to be in a lot of circumstances that do not allow me to just care about my own finances. Choose one of these numbers that you feel resonates with you the most in this very moment. Uh, hmm. Resonates the most with me. Well, I did default to 7, so I'll just go with 7. No, absolutely not. Choose one of these colors that you feel resonates with you most in this very moment. Let's see. Hmm. The green's not a creative color. What color that resonates the most? Uh, you know, even though there's several of the colors I prefer, right there, it has to be blue at the moment. Choose one of these words that you feel resonates with you in this very moment. Wicked, sick, lit, wretched, toxic, or vile. Okay. Hmm. I had to think about it. I think Wicked just stands out because it's the first one, right? I mean, think maybe it has to be plant. Choose one of these words that you feel resonates with you in this very moment. Blessed, glorious, divine, angelic, heavenly, celestial. I think you play League on stream so toxic. You know, you know, without counting League, what is the choices for the answers? Hmm. Yes, divine, angelic. Honestly, it wouldn't be the last three. It had to be between the first three. And I'm leaning towards boost. Choose one of these words that you feel resonates with you in this very moment. Luck, skill, strength, agility, intellect, charm. It has to be luck. Oh my god. It really is luck. Do you enjoy solving mathematical puzzles? Oh no. I don't do well with math. Do you speak more than one language fluently? Yes, I do. Have you ever visited a country other than your own? Technically, yes. Technically. Do you enjoy coffee? Oh, yes, of course. Do you believe in demons? I do. Do you believe in angels? Uh, I do. Even if there's something sus about them. Are you afraid of sharks? No. Like innately, anything that can bite you is just kind of like. Mm, but like, whenever I get into like the ocean, do I get scared I'm gonna be checked by a shark? No. You prefer baths over showers? Baths over showers. If I could have both, I would have both. But if between being able to have a bath or a shower, I take the bath. Does the smell of perfume or cologne give you headaches? Sometimes. Sometimes, but that's usually when they put on too much. But normally, no. Do you see a shadow move in your room a few minutes ago? I seen shadows move, but like since I did this test or like recently, a few moments ago, no, I haven't. That's unfortunate. That's fortunate. I bet. Fortunate. Right. Right. Do you ever hear your name being called, even when you know no one is calling it? Yes. Do things in your home often go missing and then reappear later? Yeah, that has happened. Do you ever hear footsteps around you when you're alone? That has also happened. Do you ever hear random knocking noises around you? Um, I don't know if I would say knocking. Gaslight. No. I had I had things or something. Uh, it's, it's hard to like describe it. Just like how do you say it when you like you don't see it, for example, right? But for example, you feel like weight on the bed that you know that there isn't anything that's adding weight to the bed. Kind of like, for example, when a pet hops onto the bed, but then your dorm room, uh, your room door, my bad, is closed and the pets are outside. But then you feel that weight by your like next to your feet or something like that, or like the bed will like, kind of shake a little bit. But it isn't because you like move or anything like that. It'll shake as if like someone like just like got on her. But ever hear random knocking noises? Door knocks? No. Wall knocks? Sometimes. Do you often look at the same time on the clock every day? Synchronicities. Yeah, I've seen them. Have you ever felt your feet being grabbed at night while sleeping? No. I feel the weight of something, but like grabbed. Do you have any pets? I do. Is your favorite color green? No, it's not. Are you attracted to a family member? No. So when are you replaying the two sequels? Uh, we'll space it out. Maybe it'll be on Fridays, to be honest. Because for example, let's say this Friday, it's the test, right? And then Next Friday. We're fishing still. So we'll space that out between the games that can be done in one stream. If you won the lottery, would you share the money with anyone? I would. If you could be the dictator of your own country, would you accept the role? I could be the dictator. So just I base it by the day when it was daytime, right? So in my mind, we're still in Friday, but technically, yes, it's Saturday. If I could be the dictator of my own country, but I accept the role. You know, power, being able to command people like that, sounds nice, but the responsibilities, absolutely not. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to be in prison? Yes. Do you like fishing? I do. Do you like hunting? It's hard to know. I never actually been personally on a hunt, right? But I feel it would be something that I would enjoy. Do you like camping? Uh, um, it's so. It's so. It isn't really like my preference, but I'm not against it either. Um, I like conveniences, right? I like conveniences, right? And so if we're like, for example, camping on a place nearby that has like, I don't know, toilets, I'm fine with that, right? But if it's like straight up camping, like just the tent in the woods, no conveniences, right? You have your little shovel for whenever you need to. Yeah, I'm not too particular about that. You like camping? I'll say no. Do you like guns? Hmm. So I like guns. You know, maybe like getting better aim. I do like practicing aim or like being able to enhance that skill, right? But am I like gun crazy that like, oh, this is like the Mart's 49 something something gun, right? Like no, I'm not like that. I'm kind of to a certain point a little bit indifferent to them. Um it isn't necessarily the guns are bad. It's in the people that use them. It's kind of like any tool. A knife in the hands of a chef becomes a tool to make a delicious meal, right? And in the hands of an angry person, it can become a murder weapon. So honestly, it's just like it depends on the person wielding it. But we'll go with yes, because at the end of the day, it's just a tool. Are you getting tired of answering questions? A little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Will you consider yourself to be kinky? I am suddenly hit by questions like this, and I'm not too sure how to answer some of them. Um, there's a quiz for this. Oh, that you can follow along. Uh huh. Yeah. Oh. Wait. Are you talking about the BDSM test? You know, I think it's the kinks. Okay. It's hard to know. Uh, or say, but regardless of what I answer, I think that's just a private question. Eyes are the window to the soul. Do you agree? Yeah, actually, to a certain point. Usually when someone isn't having a good time, like you'll see it in their eyes. Do you always keep your promises? I don't. Will you ever completely trust someone who's lied to you? I wouldn't say no, but I done it. Are you an only child? I am not. Do you ever enjoy being drunk? Yes. Do you like tattoos? Not on myself. Oh my gosh. I like tattoos. Not on myself. No. On other people, I think it depends. It kind of goes with anything, right? So there'll be, for example, let's say if a person gets a tattoo and it's only like on their arm. Uh, if anything, it will have to be like small tattoos. To be honest, I'm not too particular about it. I'm not too into it. It's so I'll say I lean more towards no than yes. Do you enjoy being high in any form? Uh, so I guess what's it called? Story time. Um, I had tried weed. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I tend to be a very like what's it called? Alert person, right? And weed kind of felt unpleasant to me because at least how I experience it, there will be seconds, we'll say seconds, that I will like focus out of existence, and then I'll focus back in, right? But it's only been seconds. But those seconds felt like minutes. Like I potentially missed like 30 minutes or something like that. And for someone that's maybe alert, like that's not good. It just put me more on edge. Do I like being drunk? I do, to a certain level. Um, Apart from that, I haven't done anything else, so I wouldn't know. I mean, unless sleep deprivation counts, the high that you get from not going to sleep. We'll just go with that. Hmm. Do you believe you have a soul? I do. Did you cry this week? Uh, um, actually, I'm trying to remember. Uh, what did I do this week? What What did I do this week? Um, you know, I must say no, not this week. Are you upset with someone right now? Yes. Is there someone you're not being completely honest with daily? It isn't like I'm lying to them, but I'm not telling them everything, so yeah. Do you understand how this works yet? Yeah, to a certain extent. If you answer questions twice, your trust. Blah, blah, blah. If you answer the questions twice, your truths may change. It's not just about answering the questions. It's about the time you spend answering them and the combination you answer them in. It's about many different variables you never guess. Do you understand? Okay. Are you wondering if the end of the test is coming soon based on the previous question you just answered? Yes. If I were to tell you that this entire process was planted here for you, specifically you, to learn something about yourself and anyone else that bothers using this is just a byproduct of its intention, would you believe them? Wait, hold on. I need a moment to process that. To learn something about yourself and anyone else that bothers using this is just a byproduct of its intention. Would you believe them? You know, yeah. Sometimes you just have to like toss out what you know and just get into what's presented in you towards you. Are you afraid of being abandoned? Yes. Are you afraid of dying alone? Uh, Dying alone, as in the sense of like, once my time comes, there is no comfort for me. Yes. Dying alone, as in like, I want to take some other people like with me. No. We'll go with the first one, where like, the no comfort. Do you worry that one day you'll be unexpectedly murdered? Yes. Are you always on guard, waiting to fend off an attack? Yes. Do you feel like I know you? I know you yet. I feel like you know something, so yes. Have you heard any strange noises while answering those questions? Yes, my neighbors. I think we have enough information about you. Whether you skip questions, answer honestly or dishonestly, took loads of time to respond, or answered quickly without reading or understanding properly, I've been able to tell you. I've been able to tell. I'm calculating your results. Okay. I'm analyzing you very carefully. I'm judging you. Based on what you told me, this is what I can conclude. You can be very skeptical at times. You're not easily fooled and you're not easily manipulated. You're a lot smarter than people give you credit for, and a lot of this is due to situations from your past that you managed to learn from, rather than choosing to be a victim and fall for the same tactics that others will fall for. You could truly be a guiding light to a lot of people. You could be an incredible, powerful figure in so many people's lives. You don't even realize just how magnificent your gift is, do you? Well, this is an ego boost. Now, the biggest problem lies within. You don't have a bad heart. That's not necessarily the issue. The truth of the matter is, you don't always trust people's intentions, and it makes you wary of helping them freely and without caution at times. You need to be a bit more trusting and a bit more open minded at times. You're afraid of being hurt, even though others don't realize that. You guard yourself and your emotions well at times, even if others don't even know just how much you're kept hidden away. You don't have to trust everyone. You don't even have to necessarily trust anyone. It will be of great benefit to yourself to give people a little bit more of a chance. You really stand to gain a lot by letting more people in and giving them the benefit of the doubt. Overall, you're a kind-hearted, caring person inside. People don't see you the way you truly are, though. They don't understand how dark your mind can be at times. But you know, you got a very high probability of helping a lot of people, provided you're willing to share yourself and your abilities freely. Open up a bit more. You're going to bless a lot of people by sharing yourself more openly and freely. Your secret word is gifted. Remember this word. This will come in handy. And okay. Oh. Take the secret word that was assigned to you at the end of your session and leave it in the comments for us. We'll be selecting some of you based on your answers to be included in a future project we're currently working on. Interesting? Don't be afraid. This is an opportunity for you to be a part of history. This is a chance for you to be a part of something greater. Be sure to note your secret word in your comments. If you do not wish to be a part of an upcoming project, simply leave your secret word out of your comments and we will not select your name. We appreciate any and all comments you leave, and we always read them truly. Thank you for taking the time to answer these questions. I know they've been of some help to you, and if they aren't yet, it will all make sense very soon. Trust me on that. You can find the test Hypothesis Rising, the test Final Revelation, and the testing chamber on Steam if you enjoyed this installment. You can also find the Journey series and the Advices series, which we encourage everyone to try. If you'd like to support us further or try our other games, you can find a link to all of our titles on the title screen of this game under the section Our Other Games. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you. Well, that I'm not gonna deny or confirm anything. Um, guess I think that would like nullify essentially what was said. Um, I know, but yeah, this is an interesting game. I did say, depending on how you answer, there's different things that will be given to you, and I think it's relatively accessible. If I remember correctly, I think I got it for $2, but I think that was also on a discount. So I'm not too sure on what the original price is. But if you yourself want to take this and maybe find out what it has to say for you, right? Just remember the rules, right? Answer honestly. Not ideally. Even if you want to think that you would do something like that, let's be honest, will you actually do it? And when it comes to a situation of like, it depends, you create a situation in your mind and answer according to that situation. Uh, Honestly, I did this because, like an activity to like become more acquainted. Uh, because in essence, I have played games, I have streamed, but I feel like maybe I haven't been to what's it called open per se, right? So is the stream is an opportunity for something like that. Um, Here I'll add sticky name. Let me make myself bigger. So yeah. Hmm. What is it? Something else that I think has to be mentioned. I don't think I'll be streaming this weekend, so no stream on Saturday and Sunday. But on Twitter. Oh my gosh. Uh, keep stuttering so much. On Twitter, I did say that weekends it was gonna be on and off. So some weekends I'll stream, some other ones I won't. I think this weekend it will be one of those that I don't. But uh, Monday, Tuesday, one of those Tuesdays, the stream will be back, and I think we're hopping back into Tales of the Black Forest, then Cobain, and then maybe some of the other games are still like pending. Yes, the Nya game. Uh, but yeah, look forward to that. There has been some changes in the about panel, right? Some of the extensions that I use don't work anymore, like the Twitter one. So there is gonna be changes in general to that section because I don't want to give you guys things to play with while on stream, right? Um, it's just I had to like look through so many of them. Uh, yeah, like well, one of them that was mentioned, the Sassy AI. I can't use it till I'm affiliate, which is unfortunate. That would have been interesting during the stream. You know, this game kind of got like serious, right? And then can you just imagine a Sassy AI just making a base comment? But maybe that's for the future. Well, thank you for joining me for this stream, and I hope you guys have a good night. Sleep well.